Hello, hello. Welcome to Top Shelf Backpacking Trail Fails, Episode 9. Today, I'm out on a little training hike. We're going to talk about hiking your own hike, not letting folks get too into your head. Back in 2019, my buddy Dur and I did a week-long 100-mile trip. We went, might have been 120 miles actually. We did the Three Sisters Loop in Central Oregon, and then hiked the Pacific Crest Trail up to Mount Jefferson, and that's where we ended up getting picked up. On day 3 of our trip, at this point we had summited South Sister, and this is the day of the marathon poop, although at this point we didn't know it was coming yet. And we were hiking up the west side of the Sisters, the Obsidian area, and feeling decently good about ourselves. And we came across an older couple hiking counterclockwise, just out for a day hike. And they were asking where we were headed, and we said we were planning to make it to the campground that night, you know, due to sit-down toilets and all. And then in the morning, we were going to be hiking up to Big Lake Youth Camp. And to get there, we had to go over Belknap Ridge. At this point, all I knew about Belknap Ridge was it was a dry stretch. Like, it was most of the day without water. We were camped at a lake, at a campground, so we weren't too concerned about cameling up and filling up all our reserves. And it had kind of big, like, lava fields. Well, the older couple told us we'd better get a really early start because it's so exposed and dangerous out there. If anything goes remotely wrong, you're hosed. Nobody's coming by, and there's no water, you know, no cell reception, all of this. So being that we were hiking this in July, temps were going to get hot. Was a little freaked out there. We ended up hiking the marathon that day, and I was in no mood to wake up early. So eventually the sun got so hot in the tent around 9 a.m. we had to get up. I thought my feet had fallen off through the night. They hurt so bad. So once we got up and running, I was slightly worried, you know, should we even attempt this today? Should we take a zero at the campground, however boring that may sound? And the decision was made, nope. We're going to keep on going. So we pressed on. Belknap Ridge is comprised of like softball-sized lava rocks. It is very exposed for miles and miles. But if you go slow, you have plenty of water, which we did. It is quite doable. So definitely psyched myself out. Dura got, oh man, he was like a half mile ahead of me when we finally got back to the forested area, which kind of annoyed me, but every 10-15 minutes I'd see his head poke out or something. So I'm sure eventually he would have doubled back should something happen. I was just really worried about rolling an ankle or having some kind of injury that would stop me. We did see a handful of people through hiking headed south, so we definitely weren't the only ones out there. But it kind of made for a miserable hike, a miserable time, because I was just so kind of on edge based on what that couple had told us, that I just wasn't hiking my own hike, having my own good time out there, and that was my fault. Obviously, you tend to trust the word of the expert, i.e. people who have hiked it before, but those people aren't you, and you are not them, so maybe take their advice, don't get too up in your head about it, and just get out there and hike your own hike. Be as prepared as you feel you can be, but don't get too psyched out. I mean, if it was something they had just passed through and you were about to step foot into it, sure. These folks hadn't hiked Belknap Ridge in quite some time, and I don't think they necessarily knew our abilities either, or even the temperatures. Had I looked at the temps and seen, yeah, the highs are in the 80s, probably would have felt better, but I didn't bother to do that because we didn't have any cell reception to do that. So I just let them think I was going to roll an ankle and then die of heat exhaustion somewhere out amongst the lava rock. And obviously that's not at all what happened. For more information on all the items you see on this channel, visit topshelfbackpacking.com. And until I see you again, hike your own hike, and cheers.